Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Tulsi Manjari. Thank you so much for chanting so beautifully. So, did you join last week, Tulsi Manjari, to the class?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. What did we learn? Which chapter are we doing now?
Is it the 14th chapter? No, the.
I will give you a clue. Okay. Demons.
Yeah, the good and bad qualities of.
Yeah.
That's the
divine and demonic, right? That is what we are seeing. Okay, Mataji is here, so I don't have to teach anything. Mataji, please take over.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
It's very hard for me, Mataji. Hari
No.
please take it.
No, thank you so much, Mataji. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
okay.
Mataji.
Okay, Tulasi Manjari and Abhyukta, only two people are there today. So, Mataji, have they done the prayers and chanting?
Yeah, Mataji, they did chanting, not the prayers. We did not do prayers, but I made her to chant.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
And next weekend is our long weekend, actually.
Yeah, so next weekend, next class will not have, huh?
That we have to talk, Mataji. We'll talk offline.
Okay. So, so let's do the prayers. So, let's do the prayers together. Tulsi Manjari and Abhyukta. Yes, Abhyukta, do you want to do the prayers?
Sure, Mataji. Omagyanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmalitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Avyukta. That was so nice. Nice to see you, Divyansh, after a long time. Okay, so we are in chapter can you tell me which chapter we are in now? Tulsi Manjari was the last class, right?
Mataji, are we in 16th chapter?
Yes, we are in 16th chapter. Yes, Avyukta, you were also there last class, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Where are you from, Avyukta?
Michigan.
Michigan, yeah. Yeah, you told me. Okay. Okay, welcome, Srinidhi and Divyansh. So we did chapter 15 and you also gave a test on chapter 15. Now it's chapter 16. What is the title of the chapter 16?
Is it divine and demoniac nature?
Very good. Yes, divine and demoniac nature. So we have the we have 16.1. 1 to 3 is Krishna is talking about the divine natures. So who can tell me 16.1? Okay, I'll go ahead, Prahlad.
Can I say 16.2?
No, 16.1. That's what we learned last week.
Shri Bhagavadgita
Abhayam.
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam.
Very good, Prahlad. You want to join in the other thing? Okay, anybody else? So please learn 16.1.
Mataji, Brinda will say. Brinda, come.
Yes, Brinda. Yes, Brinda.
Abhayam.
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastita Dhanam Damasya Yajnasya Swadhyayastapa Arjavam.
Wonderful, Vrinda. I like this tune very much.
Mataji, Raji Gorang Darshan.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so I see more Varun, Sevya Para, Prahlad. Wonderful to see you all. Join. So let's do the 16.2. Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas.
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 Tyaga Shantirapaishunam.
Yaga Shantira Paishunam.
Everyone can unmute and repeat after me. Tyaga Shantirapaishunam.
Yaga Shantira Paishunam.
Tyaga Shantirapaishunam.
Yaga Shantira Paishunam.
Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam.
Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam.
Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam.
Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam.
Wonderful, Abhyukta. I hear only Prahalad and Abhyukta. Srinidhi is Aditya is also there. Both Adityas. Varun, Aditya is there. Okay, everyone can repeat. Daya.
Mataji, then another class.
Oh, okay, Varun. Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam.
Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam.
Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam.
Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam.
Mardavam hrir achapalam.
Madhavam
Japan.
Mardavam hrir achapalam. Mardavam hrir achapalam. Ahimsa satyam akrodas. Tyaga shantirapaisunam. Daya bhuteshvaloluptvam. Mardavam hrir achapalam.
Madhavam Chapalam.
Okay, anyone wants to recite this?
Mataji, can I?
Yes, Varun. Varun, go ahead.
Ahimsa satyam akrodas tyaga shantirapaisunam daya bhuteshvaloluptvam madhavan hirachapalam.
Very good, Varun.
Mataji, can I recite this?
Yes, Divyansh. Nice to hear your voice, Divyansh.
Ahimsa satyam akrodas tyaga santir apaisunam daya bhutesva aloputvam murdavam hrir akapalam.
Very Mardavam.
Mardavam.
Yes, wonderful, Divyansh. Okay, Abhyukta, do you want to recite?
Ahimsa satyam akrodas tyaga shanta apaisunam daya bhuteshvaloluptvam madhavam chapalam.
Wonderful. Prahlad, yes.
Audio is not working.
No, it's working. We can hear you. Prahlad? Okay, Tulsi Manjari, can you say?
Yes, Mataji. Ahimsa satyam akrodas tyaga shantirapaisunam daya bhuteshvaloptvam mardavam hirachapalam.
Wonderful.
Mataji, this is Prahlad. Can I go?
Yes. Yes.
Ahimsa satyam akrodas tyaga shantirapaisunam daya bhuteshvaloluptvam madhavam hirachapalam.
Wonderful. Everyone, you did a good job. Okay. So let's do the synonyms. I'm going to say the English and you say the Sanskrit. Towards all living entities.
Bhuteshu.
Bhuteshu. Very good, Abhyukta. Freedom from greed.
Aluptvam. Aloluptvam.
Haloluptvam. Haloluptvam. Wonderful. Okay. And determination.
Achapalam.
Good job, Prahlad and Abhyukta. Non-violence.
Ahimsa.
Good job, Prahlad. Renunciation.
Tyaga. Tyaga.
Good job, Prahlad and Abhyuta. Freedom from anger.
Akrodha.
Good job, Abhyuta. Truthfulness.
Satyam. Satyam.
Good job,
Yeah.
Prahlad. Aversion to fault finding.
Oh, Apaishunam.
Aisuna.
Good job, Prahlad. Why only Prahlad and Abhyuta are answering? What happened to Varun, Srinidhi, Divyansh? Tranquility.
I'm
Shanti.
eating dinner right now. So.
Good job, Srinidhi and Divyansh. Shanti. Okay. Okay. Mercy.
Daya.
Daya.
Good job,
Daya.
Abhyuta and Srinidhi. Modesty.
Three.
Three. Yes, good job. Gentleness.
Madhavam.
Mardavam. Very good. Okay. So now I'm going to read one Sanskrit line and you try to make a meaningful combination of the transliteration, the synonyms, and let me know. Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas.
Non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger.
Very good. Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam.
Renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding.
Good job, Tulasi Manjari. Daya Bhuteshvalo Luptvam.
Mercy towards all living entities and freedom from greed.
Wonderful, Prahlad. Madhavam Hrir Achapalam.
Gentleness,
Gentle-
modesty, steady determination.
Good job, Tulsi Manjari. So Krishna is saying all these qualities as divine qualities. This is the second of the 3 verses that he talks about the divine qualities. Okay, so let me see. Who can? Srinidhi, can you read the translation?
Yeah, Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from
Covetousness.
covetousness, gentleness, modesty, and steady determination.
Very good. Okay. So can you count how many qualities are there? Anyone?
There are
11.
11. Good job. 11. Okay. So what does freedom from covetousness mean?
Mataji, can you repeat the question? What is freedom from what?
Covetousness, like covetous. What is covetous? You can Google. Can anyone say?
I don't know what covetous.
Okay, so let me say, it is like if someone has something, then you have a deep desire to take it. Possess the same thing as someone has. So that is covetousness. So one who has freedom from that, that is a good quality. Not that we shouldn't compare, oh, she has that, he has that, let me also have it, right? When you see your friend playing a new game, Minecraft, then you also want it. Or when you see someone having a toy for Christmas or something, then we also want it. So that is called covetousness. Okay. What does aversion to fault finding mean?
It means like you find faults in devotees. So like you're like fault finding, like being like finding the bad things of a devotee, not the
Yes,
good
that
things.
is fault, not only devotees, anyone, but aversion to fault finding. What does that mean? Okay, I'll give an example. Liking to pizza, eating pizza. I have a liking to eating pizza. What does that mean?
Aversion to eat pizza.
Aversion.
I think I like to eat pizza.
Ah, exactly. I like to eat pizza, right? So I have an aversion towards milk. What does that mean?
I like
Milk.
milk.
No, I have an aversion.
I
don't
basically
I don't like milk.
Exactly. Oh, I can't drink milk. Right? So that is aversion, means strong dislike. So Krishna is saying we should strongly dislike to find fault in others. We shouldn't say, oh no, I hate to find fault in others. That is a good quality, because generally the mind tends to find fault with everyone, but we don't find any fault with ourselves, right? But we should be developing the habit not to find fault, to hate to find fault with others. Then that is a divine quality that Krishna is saying. Okay, so let's see. Who wants to read this? Varun, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Varun always volunteers for reading. Do you want to read?
Okay, Mataji. Ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of any living entity. One should not think that since the spirit spark is never killed even after the killing of a body, there's no harm in killing animals for sense gratification. People are now addicted to eating animals in spite of having an ample supply of grains, fruits, and milk. Real ahimsa means not checking anyone's progressive life. The animals are also making progress in their evolutionary life by transmigrating from one category of animal life to another. If a particular animal is killed, then his progress is checked.
Thank you, Varun. So I'm asking you questions from this. Whoever knows can answer. What are people addicted to nowadays?
Animals.
Addicted to animals? Addicted to protecting animals?
Killing animals.
Ah, right. Addicted to eating animals. And you can't eat an animal alive, right? So they have to kill the animals. And someone says that if someone says that, okay, even if an animal is killed, only the body is killed, the soul is not killed. So what is the harm in that? Do you think there is any harm? Because we are not killing the soul, we are only killing the body. What harm is there in that?
He's still a part of Krishna either way, so it's harming.
Right, he's still a part of Krishna, but we are not killing the soul. The soul cannot be killed, right? So someone can come up with an argument.
You're decreasing its lifespan.
Very nice, Varun. Yes, we are decreasing its lifespan. So what is the problem in that?
also yeah, it's even though it's not the soul, it's still having, you can feel the pain, and the same pain that you give to it, it'll give back to you in your next life or whatever life. And even though it's not the body, it still is like feels the pain of it, and the person who did it will still get the karma, even though the soul is not, like, you can't kill the soul, but even if the body's killed, it'll still be bad karma.
Wonderful, wonderful, Prahlad. So if I can pinch you, right? And if you say, oh, it's paining, I said, wait a minute, I'm not pinching you, you're the soul. I'm only pinching the body. But when I pinch the body, you feel the soul, you feel the pain, right? Right?
Yeah.
So that exactly the same way the animal feels the pain. So very good point. 2 points Prahalad said is that the animal is feeling the pain. So whatever pain we caused others, we would have to get that back. And also second thing is that because of the sinful activity of taking away someone's right to live, that is bad karma. Okay, so when the animal is killed, suppose the animal has to stay in a body of, say, a cow or a pig, certain number of days. But if the animal is killed before, then it has to come back again, being born as a pig until it finishes that particular time that it has to be as in that animal body, because they are also making progress in their evolutionary life. After living as a pig or something for some time, allotted time, then they transmigrate to another animal life. The soul goes to a better animal until it becomes a human being. So we are checking the progress of that animal. So it's a big thing, because when we what we cause, it come back to us, right? Now instant karma, everyone knows that what goes around comes around. Okay, so Krishna is saying, first be non-violent. Don't, even if there's a small ant going, sometimes you feel like you want to play with it, and by mistake you could kill it. Or when you're going around in the park and then you see a tree, when you break the branch, or take some leaves, right? But then the plant is also a living thing. It feels pain. It cannot express the pain, but even the plant feels the pain. So we should try to have non-violence towards any living entity, be it animals or plants or insects or other human beings. Okay, so next slide. Who's going to read? Srinidhi, can you do?
Mataji, can I read?
Yes, Tulasi.
Okay. Satyam, this word means that one should not distort the truth for some personal interest. In Vedic literature, there are some difficult passages, but the meaning or the purpose should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. That is the process for understanding the Vedas. Shruti means that one should hear from the authority. One should not construe some interpretation for his personal interest. The real import of the world should be presented, and that should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master.
Thank you, Tulasi.
Thank
So,
you.
okay, what is truthfulness? Can someone define?
When like you're not lying to anybody, and like you always like remain true to yourself.
Right, very good. We shouldn't distort the truth for some personal interest. So how can we be truthful to the Vedas or the Shastras that we read? How can we be truthful to that?
Not make your own interpretation.
Wonderful, Tulasi. Yes, it's very important not to make any interpretation. Suppose one of you is you are asking me a question and I don't know the answer. Okay, so what would I do if I am truthful?
You would say that you wouldn't know the answer and you would turn to a reliable and bona fide source.
Wonderful, yes. So I shouldn't be making up some answers, right? If I don't know, then I should say that I don't know. I'm going to get the answer for this from some other source. So that is being truthful. Also, I should not make up any answer. If I'm not clear, if your question, I don't know the answer, or if I'm not myself clear, then I shouldn't say, I think it's like this, I think it's like that. Then that is not truthfulness. So we should hear from the bona fide spiritual master and present it as it is with our realizations. That is Satyam. So can you give an example of this from the Guru Parampara?
Maybe like when Srila Prabhupada, he came here and he gave the bona fide commentaries. He didn't like make up a impersonal commentary and say that this was the truth and introduced us to it. He made the actual.
Wonderful. That's brilliant. Thank you, Tulasi Manjari. Anything else? Sorry, I cut you off. Anything else? So the thing is, so Prabhupada was very truthful to his spiritual master. Whatever he heard, he spoke like as it is, right? So he did not make anything by himself. He did not tell that God is formless or impersonal. He just said as it is. And also how we can know that he is presenting as it is. That is why Prabhupada made the system that you have a Sanskrit word, right? Why are we reading synonyms for? So that we know what is each word means in Sanskrit. And anyone with a Sanskrit dictionary can check these words. So then we know the translation is the same as the Sanskrit shlokas. There is no any change in this, right? So that's why, since he took so much effort to do the word by word translation, we should also read the word by word translation in every shloka. Okay, next is freedom from anger. Who can read? Divyansh, are you free to read?
Sure, I can read.
Yes, Divyansh.
Akrodha means to check anger. Even if there is provocation, one should be tolerant. For once one becomes angry, his whole body becomes polluted. Anger is a product of the mode of passion and lust. So one who is transcendently situated should check himself from anger.
Right. So is there any person here who has not got angry? No, right? So every one of us are in the mode of passion, and because of that, we are prone to anger. So what happens to the body when we are getting angry?
It becomes polluted.
It becomes polluted. So can anyone explain how you feel when you get angry? In your own words, like your own experience. Yes, Varun?
Well, I start like shouting a lot, and then like I just get like really mad, and then I just like try and make myself calm down, and yeah.
Wonderful, Varun. Yes, we tend to shout and then we get really mad. Okay, someone else?
Don't say the right things, and we like
Yeah,
become
continue.
like it's sort of like you may say something and then afterwards you look back and you say, oh, I didn't mean that, or something, or or you just become so like mad that you like don't care, you just like say stuff.
Wonderful. Yes, Tulasi, right. Right. we wouldn't say that stuff ordinarily when we are not angry, but when we are angry, we say stuff that is very terrible to ourselves and also to others. Okay. And then what else? After you calm down, how do you feel?
Better.
Better, right? Yeah. But then, this is a problem with everyone. We are born with this problem. We are continuing with this problem. After we calm down, we tell to ourselves, okay, I'm going to try my hard not to get angry anymore. But then again, day after day after day after day, we keep getting angry. So that's why Prabhupada is saying that if we are on the path of Krishna consciousness, we should check ourselves from anger. We should pray to Krishna. Also, we should check by how can we get less and less angry. I mean, of course, it is not possible to immediately become free from anger. But do you think it's possible to become less angry than what we are now? Do you think we can take that baby step? And how do you think that, what is the plan? Like, how can we plan to be less angry? Do you think it will work at all? Anyone? Tulasi Manjari, Srinidhi? Varun? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So how can we go to the, ultimately we have to get free from anger, freedom from anger, but we need to start in that path. So how do you think we can do that?
Toleration.
Yes, we tolerate, and we pray to Krishna that we can tolerate more, and we also cultivate that quality of tolerance. Right? That's a very good point, Varun. Anybody else? What did Hiranyakashipu do? Was Hiranyakashipu peaceful?
No, Mataji.
Why was he always angry?
Because Prahlad, his son, always talked about his biggest enemy.
Yes, Varun. His son always talked about his biggest enemy, and in fact advised him also to surrender to his enemy, and he had no fear in it, right? So that was so making Hiranyakashipu so angry. Okay, my another question is, so anger is bad. Everyone knows that. We should get freedom from anger. But we know, was Narsinghadev angry or peaceful?
Angry.
How come God can be angry?
Because he was trying to protect his devotee.
Right. Okay. So that's a very wonderful point. Anger or any other negative quality when it comes to Krishna, that is transcendental. That is not having an effect like our anger. It is not under the control of the three modes of material nature. We become angry when somebody takes our stuff away from us, or when they talk something bad about us, or when we don't get what we want. It's all about me, right? Our anger is centered on us. But Krishna's, Narsinghdev's anger is not like that. So he was so angry because his devotee was tortured. Even when he was blasphemed, he was not so angry, right? Ravana kidnapped his own wife, but Rama was angry, but not like Nrsimhadev, right? Nrsimhadev became transcendentally angry to show his love for Prahalad Maharaj. Okay, so yeah, so we can slowly pray to Krishna, tolerate more, and then that's what Mahaprabhu said. Anyone knows the verse where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says about tolerance?
Is it Renata Chena?
Yes, can you tell that verse, Avyukta?
Renata Pisa Nichena, Tarora Pisa Hesnula, Amanina Mana, Dena Kirtaniya Salahari.
Very good. Very good. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us a mandate that please be tolerant. So we will all cultivate that and take baby steps slowly and slowly, and we can become less and less and angry, and one day we can become free from anger. Okay. Free. Prahalad, can you read this? Prahalad? Okay. Varun, can you read?
Okay. Free means that one should be very modest and must not perform some act which is abominable.
Yes. What does abominable mean, Varun?
Like kind of like destructive, I guess, in a way. And like they become like really mad, and then they just like make a ruckus.
Right. So they say they do something very destructive, and they make something that's very, very bad, right? So no, one should be very modest. What is the meaning of modest? Can anyone tell me what's the meaning of modest?
Mataji, the meaning of
humble.
Yes. So humble, right? Opposite to proud, being proud. So so unassuming or moderate, very moderate, like not, see, Prabhupada never, when someone asked about Prabhupada, he didn't tell much about himself. He didn't say, a modest person means not talking about oneself, not thinking about oneself, right? So that means he's not proud. So then the person can remain without doing any abominable act. Okay, Apaishunam. Who's going to read this?
Mataji,
Can I read it?
Yes, Divyansh.
Sunam means that one should not find fault within others or correct them unnecessarily. Of course, to call a thief is not fault finding, but to call an honest person a thief is very much offensive for one who's making advancement in spiritual life.
Yes, thank you, Divyansh, right? So about fault finding, so do you have experience of finding fault with others? Do you have experience?
Yes.
Right? We always see, oh, you're doing that, or he's doing this, or he's mean, and he's not good, and this and that, right? So we shouldn't be doing it. Krishna is saying that if we do that, that means that is demoniac quality. We shouldn't be doing that or correcting them unnecessarily. If they come and ask us, like, please let me know what to do, then we can, if they ask us and if we are in a position to tell them, then we can tell them. Otherwise, we shouldn't be bothered much about that. For example, when Prabhupada first came to US, he was in Mrs. Sally Agarwal's place, and so sometimes Sally was smoking. she knew that she cannot smoke in front of Prabhupada, but sometimes, they just, some people were coming there and they were smoking in front of him. Sally wouldn't do, but some neighbors or someone when they're talking. So then Sally asked Prabhupada, I'm so sorry. He said that it's okay. I don't bother much about it. Then one time, Prabhupada was staying in a separate, a small room in YMCA, and he used to come from there to their place, and he used to cook for them also. One time he had come, and while he had come, they had just finished cooking, eating, probably beef. So the smell was there everywhere. Okay. And she was telling, I'm so sorry, Swamiji. I couldn't clean up before you come. And he said, it's okay. Think not, I don't think much about it. Right? He did not find fault with her, but he still encouraged her to be Krishna, to be as much as possible helping him in Krishna consciousness. So he was always looking at the positive side. So if we can develop that, okay, sometimes if we say Prahalad is saying, finding a fault with his brother, but if he thinks about the positive side of the brother, or Varun thinks how Aditya is helping him, and then if we think about the positive aspects of the person, then the faults will not matter much. Okay, so we can cultivate that habit of thinking positively on others. Okay, oh, it's a last slide. Who's going to read this? Prahalad? We are not able to hear you, Prahalad. Okay, anybody else can read? Srinidhi?
Mataji, should I read?
Yes, go ahead.
Akapalam, determination. Kapalam, determination means that one should not.
Achapalam.
Achapalam. Achapalam, determination means that one should not be agitated or frustrated in some attempt. There may be failure in some attempt, but one should not be sorry for that. He should make progress with patience and determination.
Very good, Srinidhi. Can you explain a little bit about what you read, what you understood?
What I understood from this is when we're going in the process of Krishna consciousness, there may be some obstacles, but we shouldn't give up because of those obstacles. We should just keep going on. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. So has anyone experienced this not only in Krishna consciousness in your activity? For example, you're doing a project, you have to do a drawing and you didn't get it right. And sometimes you feel like crushing the paper. Can you share any experience like that?
Mataji, one time I had to do a state float and I could never find the right materials for them. And I went to like 5 different stores and yeah, I couldn't steal the right the right materials. So I had to use some work that I found at home, and I still got a good grade. So, but that one part of time was really annoying.
Wonderful, Srinidhi. You didn't give up. Good, right? You didn't give up. Oh, forget it. I'm not getting what I want, so let me not do it. No, that's not right. Okay. Thank you, Srinidhi. So like this way, there may be failure in that, but we should make progress with patience and determination. No, I will get it right. I'll be patient until I get it right. Right? So these are all very, very good qualities. That is very good in Krishna consciousness and also for our educational life and our normal life. So then we don't get into much trouble with others. We don't have issues. We are not getting so much angry. We are not fault finding. See, it's all divine qualities that Krishna is saying one should develop in oneself. Okay. So I don't have Kahoot today, but I'm just going to ask you some questions on this. Okay, so my question is, what does gentleness mean? Can you explain gentleness? Give the Sanskrit meaning for gentleness, Sanskrit word, and also explain it. Who can do that? Anyone? Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji, you are audible.
Yes.
Okay. Can anyone explain what does gentleness mean with an example?
Okay. Well, gentleness means like you aren't, like you don't get angry, like you stay calm and you have toleration. And like one example of gentleness is like when somebody like starts shouting at you, like you don't shout back at them, and like you don't like get really mad at them. You just like stay calm.
Beautiful, Varun. Yes, right. So when somebody shouts at us, we stay calm and handle them properly, give them so that it doesn't, then we shout and then they shout and then we shout. It'll be a big mountain of shouting. Good job, Varun. Okay, the last question is, what did we learn? We didn't learn this, but I want to know what you think about tranquility. Tranquility, in other words, can you give me a synonym of tranquility? It's coming from the word tranquil.
Peace.
Yes, Varun, good job. So being at peace, right? Our mind is always like constantly in, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I did not get to do this, right? Constantly our mind is agitated from one after another. But we should try and stay peaceful by chanting what?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, can we all chant once together? Everyone unmute. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if we chant this mantra every single day and read Bhagavad Gita, then we don't need to extraneously try to develop these qualities. When we are chanting this and trying to be a devotee of Krishna, then over a period of time, slowly we will see that we will develop these qualities gradually. Anybody has any questions on what we discussed today? Okay, so if there are no questions, then we will meet, we will see if we can meet again next week. And this week's homework is please memorize 16.2. 16, if you haven't memorized 16.1, so do both 1 and 2 of the 16th chapter. Okay. Thank you all very much for joining. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yay, thank you.
Kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone. See you
Hare
next
Krishna.
week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.